Good morning, everybody. Today is September 7th. Dr. Vuong here with your quick COVID update. It's going to be a quick one. We had 125,000 cases here in the United States, and it looks like to me, I mean, everyone knows Alaska is really hot right now, and no one talks about Montana and Wyoming because those aren't very populated states. But it looks like to me like the wave is making its way up Pennsylvania. So it's kind of moving up, passing Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia. Now it's starting to touch the western parts of Pennsylvania, which means it's heading towards New Jersey. It's doing this weird wraparound where it's coming down the top of New York State and Maine. And it's weird. Well, it's not really weird. I mean, I would predict that those are lower vaccinated areas. And the larger, more vaccinated areas like New York City, LA, starting to show some protection. Houston was only, believe it or not, during the summer, during the surge, Houston was only 49 to 50% vaccinated. I was quite shocked. I thought we were a little bit more progressive than that, but that's okay. Not judging, just saying I thought we would have been more vaccinated. But the Delta surge in the South has surpassed. But what I want you to notice is UK has been stuck around 33,000. And for some reason, France got an uptick of like 120,000 cases. But I don't know if that's a reporting anomaly. I didn't see any press releases on that. But what I want you to notice is you're starting to get news from Russia. They surpassed 900 deaths a day, which is the most they've ever reported, which most people don't trust and think it's probably underreported. So if there's a Russian variant, something weird happening, remember we got these variants because the Delta variant came from India. It was a big surge. Remember when South Africa was on fire? South African variant, UK variant, which is Alpha, Brazilian variant, etc. And so I wonder if there's something happening with Russia. It could be the Mu variant. I mean, they're going to do the whole world a disservice if they don't disclose what's happening there. Pfizer has officially requested FDA emergency use approval for their vaccine between the ages of 5 and 11. And yes, my 5-year-old will we'll take her to get vaccinated when that first pops up, when that's approved. J&J has requested approval for their second shot, their booster. And I think Moderna, I don't think they've submitted the data yet. You know, it's hard to keep up with everything that's changing. Now, yes, the other day I talked about the Merck pill that's used to actually treat symptoms of COVID, and then AstraZeneca yesterday submitted for the COVID prevention bill, which is antibodies that were formed at Vanderbilt University, and we saw the price of RNA vaccine stocks decrease and the price of AstraZeneca go up as people try to think like this was going to be a major new thing, which I think is weird that anti-vaxxers won't get vaccinated because it's new, untested, no one knows the long-term effects, all this sort of stuff, made in a lab, I want my natural immunity. But then they're willing to take this, this new AstraZeneca pill, which is antibodies made in a lab, doesn't cause, you don't know the real long-term effects. It's not fully FDA approved, all the same reasons. It's just bizarre to me. Same thing with monoclonal antibodies. Now it's in a pill form. But we shall see. Honestly, the best treatment is vaccination. And I briefly said yesterday that, please stop it with the hydroxychloroquine. It has been debunked by every major organization worldwide. It looks like Ivermectin is probably going to go that way too. We're still waiting on the trials from Oxford, but that probably won't be until December, January. And vitamin D. Let me tell you about vitamin D. If your vitamin D levels are low, yes, you should be out in the sun and take vitamin D supplements. You should do that anyway. Does not mean that it's a good treatment for COVID or to prevent COVID. It just doesn't. The data does not demonstrate that. And when people like, but look at this article, Dr. V. What about this thing, dude? Your headline reading. You know, you're reading reviews, you're reading old data, you're reading suppositions, and they're not good studies, they're not well designed. You got to remember back in, last summer and fall, people were just printing shit left and right to see, publishing shit just to see, what other people's experiences were. Now we're pretty sure vitamin D is not a good treatment for COVID. And again, I'll say if your vitamin D levels are low, you absolutely should get those treated with supplementation or sunlight. But once you have it and you're going to suddenly start swallowing a bunch of vitamin D, or if you're trying to use that as a prevention, it has not been shown effective, guys. So I'm just telling you, same thing with zinc. And I think ivermectin will go the same way. Ivermectin is just, we're waiting on those trials. What's going to happen for these holiday seasons, and as you know, comment if you know that, like, once Halloween's here, boom, Thanksgiving, boom, Christmas, boom, New Year's. It's like, what happened to the last quarter? Like, it just flies by so fast. So I would ask you that if you're going to gather, in which Americans are going to gather, you kind of just set up this, you take this stance. You don't come over unless you're fully vaccinated. And if you will take that stance with your family, that it's not 100% guarantee. There's no 100% guarantee. But it is a very, very, your best chance of not spreading COVID for the holidays. Now, if you are completely suspicious, I would make sure everybody's vaccinated. Excuse me, and make sure that everyone gets COVID tested 24 hours prior to coming over. If you have someone who's super immunocompromised, an elderly grandparent who this might be your last Christmas or Thanksgiving with them, I would put my foot down on the ground and say, if you want to see grandma this last time, you got to make sure you have to be vaccinated, and you have to show 24-hour negative test, and that will probably give you about 99% confidence that everybody there is going to be safe. Okay, and you can't trust people. You have to really ask them. Don't just assume that oh no, they're a good person. I'm sure they've been vaccinated. No, you need to ask, right? That's how we keep each other safe. Now, if you want to be fully vaccinated by Thanksgiving, you need to go out today and get your mRNA. I think they're all good. I think Moderna is the one I got. That's the one I tell people to get. Pfizer's fine. You'll need that third booster in J&J. You'll need that second shot of J&J. Anyway, hope today's been helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow for another COVID update. Bye, guys.